Hello, and welcome to the 45th episode of Scripture in a Year, hosted by Saints Peter and Paul Orthodox Church in the Albanian Archdiocese of the OCA. Today's reading is Deuteronomy Chapters 21 through 24. If anyone is found slain in the land the Lord your God gives you to inherit, and is fallen in the open field, and it is not known who killed him, then your elders and your judges shall go out and measure the distance from the slain man to the surrounding cities. Then it shall be, the elder of the city nearest to the slain man will take a heifer from the oxen which has not been worked and pulled with a yoke. The elders of that city shall bring the heifer down to a rocky valley, neither plowed nor sown, and they shall hamstring the heifer there in the valley. Then the priests, the Levites, shall come near, for the Lord your God chose them to be present for him and to bless in his name. By their word every controversy and every assault shall be settled. After this all the elders of that city nearest to the slain man shall wash their hands over the heifer which was hamstrung in the valley. Then they shall answer and say, Our hands have not shed this blood, nor have our eyes seen it. Be merciful, O Lord, to your people Israel, whom you redeemed from the land of Egypt, so there may be no blood guiltiness among your people Israel. Thus the blood shall atone for them, and you shall put away the guilt of their innocent blood from among you, if you do what is good and pleasing before the Lord your God. Now if you go out to war against your enemies, and the Lord your God delivers them into your hands, and you take them captive, and you see among the captives a beautiful woman, and desire her, and would take her for your wife, then you shall bring her home to your house, and you shall shave her head and trim her nails. You shall take the clothes of her captivity from her, and she shall remain in your house and mourn her father and mother a full month. After that you may go in to her and dwell with her, and she shall be your wife. But it shall be, if you do not want her, then you shall send her away free, but you certainly shall not sell her for money. You shall not treat her brutally, because you humbled her. Now if a man is married to two wives, one loved and the other hated, and they have borne him children, both the loved and the hated, and the firstborn son is of her who is hated, then it shall be, on the day he bequeaths his possessions to his sons, he must not bestow firstborn status on the son of the loved wife in preference to the son of the unloved, the true firstborn. But he shall acknowledge the son of the unloved wife as the firstborn by giving him a double portion of all he has, for he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his. Now if a man should have a disobedient and rebellious son, who will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and who, when they chasten him, will not heed him, then his father and mother shall take a hold of him, and bring him out to the elders of his city, to the gate of his city. So they shall say to the men of his city, This son of ours is disobedient and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. Then all the men of his city shall stone him to death with stones, and he shall die. So you shall put away the evil from among you, and the rest shall hear and be afraid. Now if a man committed a crime under the sentence of death, and he is put to death, and you hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain overnight on the tree, but you shall surely bury him that day. For he who is hanged on a tree is accursed of God, that you do not defile the land the Lord your God gives you as an inheritance. When you see your brother's young bull or his sheep wandering on the road, you should not ignore them. You shall certainly return them to your brother and restore them to him. But if your brother is not near you, or if you do not know him, then you shall bring them to your own house, and they shall remain with you until your brother seeks them. Then you shall restore them to him. You shall do the same with his donkey, or with his garment, or with any lost thing of your brother's, which he lost and you found. You should not ignore them. You shall not see your brother's donkey or his young bull fall down on the road, and ignore them. You shall surely help him lift them up again. A woman shall not wear a man's clothing, nor shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all who do so are an abomination to the Lord your God. If a bird's nest happens to be before you along the way, in any tree on the ground with young ones or eggs, with the mother sitting on the young or on the eggs, you shall not take the mother with the young. You shall surely let the mother go and take the young for yourself, that it may be well with you, and you prolong your days. If you should build a new house, then you shall make a railing for your house, that you may not be guilty of manslaughter in your own house. if anyone happens to fall from it. You shall not sow your vineyard with different kinds of seed, lest the yield and the seed you sow and the fruit of your vineyard become unholy. You shall not plow with a young bull and a donkey together. You shall not wear a garment of different sorts, such as wool and linen mixed together. You shall make tassels on the corner of your clothing, which you cover yourself. If any man takes a wife and dwells with her and hates her, and lays reproachful words upon her and brings a bad name on her, and says, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found she was not a virgin, then her father and mother of the young woman shall take and bring out the evidence of the young woman's virginity to the elders at the gate. So the young woman's father shall say to the elders, I gave my daughter to this man as wife, and he hates her. Now he is laying reproachful words upon her, saying, I found your daughter was not a virgin, and yet these are the evidences of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. Then the elders of that city shall take that man and discipline him. They shall fine him 100 shekels of silver, and give them to the father of the young woman, because he brought a bad name on a virgin of Israel. And she shall be his wife. He cannot divorce her all his days. But if his word is true, and evidences of virginity are not found for the young woman, then they shall bring out the young woman to the doors of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her to death with stones, and she shall die, because she did a foolish thing among the children of Israel, to commit fornication in her father's house. So you shall put away the evil from among you. If a man is found lying with a married woman, then you shall kill both of them, the man that lay with the woman and the woman. So you shall put away the evil from Israel. If a young woman who is a virgin is betrothed to a husband, and a man finds her in the city and lies with her, then you shall bring them both out to the gate of that city, and you shall stone them to death with stones. The young woman because she did not cry out in the city, and the man because he humbled his neighbor's wife. So you shall put away the evil from among you. But if a man finds a betrothed young woman in the countryside, and the man forces her and lies with her, then you shall kill only the man who lay with her. But you shall do nothing to the young woman. There is in the young woman no sin deserving of death. For just as when a man rises against his neighbor and murders him, even so this matter. For he found her in the countryside, and the betrothed young woman cried out. But there was no one to come to her aid. If a man finds a young woman who is a virgin, who is not betrothed, and seizes her and lies with her, and they are found out, then the man who lay with her shall give to the young woman's father 50 silver 2 drachma coins, and she shall be his wife, because he humbled her. He shall not be permitted to divorce her all his days. A man shall not take his father's wife, nor uncover what is covered of his father's. The eunuch and the castrated man shall not enter the assembly of the Lord. The child of a prostitute shall not enter the assembly of the Lord. An Ammonite or a Moabite shall not enter the assembly of the Lord, even to the 10th generation. None of his descendants shall enter the assembly of the Lord forever, because they did not meet you with bread and water when you came out of Egypt, and because they hired against you Balaam, the son of Beor, from Mesopotamia, to curse you. Nevertheless, the Lord your God will not listen to Balaam, but the Lord your God turned the curse into a blessing for you, because the Lord your God loved you. You shall not address them with peaceful words and good wishes all your days forever. You shall not abhor an Edomite, for he is your brother. You shall not abhor an Egyptian, because you were an alien in his land. The sons of the 3rd generation born to them may enter the assembly of the Lord. If you should go out to encamp against your enemies, then keep yourself from every evil thing. If there should be any man among you who is not clean from a flow in the night, then he shall go outside the camp. He shall not come inside the camp. But it shall be, when evening comes, he shall wash his body with water, and when the sun sets, he may come into the camp. Also there shall be a place outside the camp, and you shall defecate there, and you shall have a spike on your belt, and when you defecate outside, you shall dig with it, and turn and cover your excrement. For the Lord your God walks about in the midst of your camp to save you and deliver up your enemy to you. Therefore your camp shall be holy, and no shameful matter shall be seen among you, and he turn away from you. You shall not deliver to his lord the slave who fled from his lord to you. He may dwell with you in the very place pleasing to him. You shall not afflict him. There shall be no female prostitute among the daughters of Israel, or a male prostitute among the sons of Israel. There shall be no female temple prostitute among the daughters of Israel, and there shall be no male temple prostitute among the sons of Israel. You shall not bring the wages of a prostitute or the price of a dog into the house of the Lord your God for any vowed offering, for both are an abomination to the Lord your God. You shall not charge interest to your brother, interest on money or food or anything you lend out. You may charge interest to a foreigner, but you shall not charge interest to your brother, that the Lord your God may bless you in all your works in the land you are entering to inherit. If you should make a vow to the Lord your God, you shall not delay to pay it, for the Lord your God will surely require it of you, and it would be a sin to you. But if you should abstain from vowing, it is not a sin to you. That which proceeds from your lips you shall keep, and do in the manner you vowed your gift to the Lord your God, that which you spoke with your mouth. If you enter into your neighbor's standing grain, you may pluck the heads with your hands, but you shall not use a sickle on your neighbor's standing grain. Now if you enter into your neighbor's vineyard, you may eat your fill of grapes at your pleasure, but you shall not put any in your container. If a man takes a wife and marries her, and it should be, she finds no favor before him because he found something shameful in her, and he writes her a certificate of divorce, puts it in her hands, and sends her out of his house, and she departs from his house and marries a different man, and the latter man hates her and writes her a certificate of divorce, and puts it in her hands, and sends her out of his house, or the latter man dies who took her as his wife, then the former husband who divorced her cannot take her back to be his wife after she was defiled, because that is an abomination before the Lord your God, and you shall not defile the land the Lord your God is giving you as an inheritance. If a man should take a new wife, he shall not go out to war or be charged with any business. He shall be free at home 1 year and bring happiness to his wife whom he took. No man shall take the lower or upper millstone in pledge, for he takes one's living in pledge. If a man should kidnap any of his brethren of the sons of Israel, and mistreats him or sells him, then that kidnapper shall die, and you shall put away the evil from among you. Take heed to yourself in an outbreak of leprosy, that you carefully keep and do according to all the law, whatever the priests and Levites may proclaim to you, in the manner I commanded them. So you shall keep and do. Remember what the Lord your God did to Miriam on the way when you proceeded out of Egypt. If you should lend your neighbor anything, you shall not enter his house to get his pledge. You shall stand outside, and the man to whom you lend shall bring the pledge out to you. Now if the man is poor, you shall not keep his pledge overnight. You shall return the pledge to him again when the sun goes down, that he may sleep in his own garment, and bless you. And it shall be for you an alms before the Lord your God. You shall not withhold wrongfully the wage of the poor and needy, whether one of your brethren or one of the resident aliens in your cities. Each day you shall pay him his wage, and not let the sun go down on it, for he is poor, and has set his hope on it, lest he cry out against you to the Lord, and it be a sin to you. Fathers shall not be put to death for their sons, nor shall sons be put to death for their fathers. Each shall be put to death for his own sin. You shall not pervert judgment, do the stranger and the fatherless and the widow, nor take a widow's garment as a pledge. But you shall remember you were a servant in Egypt, and the Lord your God redeemed you from there. Therefore I command you to do this thing. If you should reap your harvest in your field and forget a sheaf in the field, you shall not go back to get it. It shall be for the poor and the resident alien and the fatherless and the widow, that the Lord your God may bless you in all the works of your hands. If you pick olives, you shall not go back to glean what you left behind you. It shall be for the resident alien, the fatherless, and the widow. And remember, you were a servant in Egypt. Therefore I command you to do this. Now if you should gather the grapes of your vineyard, you shall not glean it afterwards. It shall be for the resident alien, the fatherless, and the widow. So remember, you were a servant in the land of Egypt. Therefore I command you to do this thing. Here ends the reading for today.